If I ever ask you to play basketball so you can get out of your dark room and get some exercise, you fat lump, just appreciate the gesture and say thank you. None of this, how did you get into my house, you creep? A little gratitude can go a long way. That's the definition of Kuroko, a man who among his many talents that include things like playing basketball, pulling Lucy, passing a basketball, going invisible, shooting a basketball, has the gift of being a main character, which can be distinguished by his rainbow hair color. Kuroko's basketball took the world by absolute storm, and just like retards chasing a butterfly around a garden, the whole anime community, myself included, found ourselves drawn to the bright lights, the fancy colors of the show. A giant fat baby ingested some cocaine, grabbed a few highlighters and fiddled around on a page, eventually naming the creation after a sport. That's the essence of the anime. The basic premise of the show is that there are 5 students called the Generation of Miracles. Why are they called that, you ask? Did they design a supercomputer? Did they revolutionize the field of medicine? Did they get railed by 200 guys in a day instead of 100 like the geniuses of our time? Nope. They're just really good at bouncing a ball and hurling it into a hole. That's actually called basketball, and it's a really fun game where, like I was saying, hurling a ball into a hole, which is unfamiliar to anyone in our community in more ways than one. But out of nowhere, there was a guy really good at basketball that no one knew about, the Phantom Sixth Man. Looking at this picture, can you tell me which ones are the main characters? They didn't even bother to hide it. If you have a hair color that's not black or brown, you're a main character. I mean, there was a guy called Haizaki who was relegated to being a side character, which was demonstrated by the change of his hair color from grey to black. So if you don't have a hair color that indicates you're on the spectrum, then get fucked because you're a side character. The plot revolves around high school basketball because apparently any sport you play after that is just as useless and boring as a board game at a retirement home, and there are no stakes higher than winning a high school championship where you're unpaid, unrecognized, you get as much credit as a janitor in a primary school lunchroom, but hey, it's all about friendship. I've never understood why these players get so depressed after losing a high school match. Back when I played, we would be happy if we got decent quality lollies at halftime. Losing 20-0 or 40-0 meant as much to us as logic means to Baki fans. The two MCs Kuroko and Kagami have to team up to beat the Generation of Miracles so that their high school team can win the championship and bring glory to their PE teachers. And no matter what anyone says, these clashes are like something out of hentai. It makes no sense, but it's fucking entertaining as shit. I know that at some point in your life, you've gone back to watch the infamous Kagami vs Aomine zone battle. Don't lie, you know how hype it is. What is the zone, you ask? Well, in real life it's where you're really focused on the task. In Kuroko's basketball, it's where lightning starts coming out of your eyes, back, balls and brain as you switch on Super Saiyan God Blue. The first GM we see after our very own Phantom is Kisei, the blonde baddie. He's a nice guy who gets bitches and learnt basketball really fast after playing it only a little bit. He's the epitome of talent and has the special ability of copying anyone he wants, any move, any skill. He's basically a dickhead friend that learnt FIFA super fast and beat your ass, and he has the audacity to still be a nice guy after all that. He really pisses you off in a special way. And before anyone spams me and calls me an ignorant inbred, I know that the Generation of Miracles were introduced in order of oldest to youngest, and that their names represent the colors of their hair and all that. It's a cool feature and totally not obvious to the audience. The creators were being real subtle there. The next Generation of Miracle that we see is Nerd Midorima. He's the green glasses guy that has a special quirk of bringing lucky items into games based on horoscopes. You know, personally I've always liked these types of characters. Not the horoscopes, that's weird as shit, but the dorky glasses semi-serious characters. Don't know why, but I've always seen a resemblance with myself. He's really good at shooting long range shots and can basically score from as far away as he wants. I brought this up in a debate once with my mates, and I'll say it here as well. He should be the most overpowered character in the entire anime. I mean, how are you gonna stop a guy that scores every time he shoots without creating some kind of bullshit reasoning? Which of course they do. He's also the most relatable character because he hates everyone except a handful of people, which we've all felt at some point in our lives. Alright, get ready for the fan favorite top G god tier Sukuna boy that pretty much every single person that watches this anime absolutely loves. Blue-haired Aomine is more loved than the MCs themselves. I mean really, this dude stole the entire show. I can't even imagine what the anime would have looked like without Aomine. His special quirk is that he's into women. Seriously, that's it. But he gets bullied by this annoying whore for liking women like, bitch, lay off. Just cause he doesn't suck off every guy he encounters doesn't mean he's not a cool dude. His special ability is literally everything. He's the ace of the team, and he grew up playing street ball. He can do formless shots, dick flips, ankle breaks, meat slaps, behind the basket, rainbow jumps, and he's fast as fuck. But what makes him an absolute fucking fan favorite is his personality. Oh, he's a real one. He knows he's the best, acts like he is, comes late, and crushes people's dreams, makes fun of people he destroys, and does it all so casually. Not to mention that he shows respect where it's due and has absolutely earned the right to act like he's the top guy around, because he fucking is. His opponents literally give up every time he moves because he's so overpowered. Seeing him one punch Haizaki so casually got me going more than when I opened up hentai for the first time. Beautiful memories. Now you might be wondering, if these players are this good, what about the professional or NBA players? Well, my naive friend, NBA players obviously can't compete against high school basketball players in anime. What is this? Logic, common sense, honesty and realism? All I hear is normie. Sukuna, Aomine, is a fucking Chad. The next guy we see is a giant purple weirdo, literally speaking. Murasakibara was fucked by Bigfoot and dropped on his head. That pretty much sums up his game. To be honest, he's supposed to be a great defender, but his main ability is that he's just big, which is a pretty accurate representation of real basketball. Also, he either really likes eating candy, or likes luring kids with him. Nah, that's not possible. He's too autistic to lure children. If it sounds like I don't give a fuck about him, then you got me. He definitely makes for good sports fan service though, so I can't really blame anyone for liking him. Let me introduce you to the Levi of the show. Akashi is Saiki if he played basketball. He's the captain, and the only difference between him and Saiki is that Saiki doesn't have insane trauma. He has two abilities, Emperor's Eye and Ankle Break. He tells them to sit down, they sit down. He tells them to give him scissors, they do it. He tells them to suck each other off, and no questions asked, they just, did I mention he has split personality disorder? Sometimes I look at these characters and think, just fucking go to therapy, you cunts. Also, this motherfucker is 5'8". He's shorter than me. Who the fuck let this midget onto the team? Okay, sorry. His personality is top tier, he's borderline a psychopath, but he's an absolute legend in the way he tells people what to do, especially Murasakibara the Bop. So far we know that everyone has superpowers that they only use in basketball. They're all better than NBA players. The show's absolutely hype, and we have black guys speaking Japanese. Wait, what the fuck? I literally forgot about this shit. But just before that, if you're wondering how Kuroko and Kagami beat these superpowered aliens, then the answer is, Kagami is just good at basketball. That's literally it. Besides being able to jump high and the occasional meteor shower on the basket, Kagami's special ability is that he can just play basketball well. Otherwise, it doesn't explain how he was able to out-dribble Aomine, overpowered Murasakibara, stop Kisei and Midorima, and beat Akashi. What's Kuroko's ability? He literally disappears on the court and shoots lasers out of his hand while shouting, "Ignite past Kai." They give you a bullshit excuse that he can disappear because of misdirection, like alright guys, let me just go try that shit on a basketball court and see how quickly I get flattened like a fucking pancake. Some street balls from America come to Japan and humiliate college students, so the Generation of Miracles plus Kagami and Kuroko go, let's play each other, and I kid you not, they named their team Vorpal Swords. I can't think of a shittier name for a basketball team, even if you paid me to think of one. What the fuck guys, at this point, just name yourselves Queer Olympians. Not gonna lie though, this final movie slaps you like a feminist at a non-fiction library because they get triggered by everything around them. Akashi also overcomes his disorder in this game somehow, Kagami and Aomine team up, Kisei realizes he's got proper plot armor that can only be ended by killing off his battery, Murasakibara is big, Midorima again goes absolute god mode, and there was one other guy I forgot to mention, but his name disappeared from my page, so not much I can do about that. Besides the blonde guy, all other guys in the opposing team are just good at basketball. That's it. Besides the odd tornado, tsunami, earthquake, lightning death that we see once in a while. You know what really sets the show apart from others? It's pure candy orgasmic cocaine-inducing fantasy bullshit, and it's proud of it. It makes zero attempts to hide how ridiculous it is, and actually boasts about it. You want to see cool lightning, plus a stupid power-up, with strong power scaling and generic sports anime stereotypes, all while pretending it's a show about basketball? This is your one-stop show for all of that. Everything is ridiculous, but if you wanted to watch a ball being thrown into a hoop, you wouldn't be watching anime, would you? You want to see a ball being thrown into a hoop in a really cool way, with bright lights, lots of colors, and characters screaming the name of their attacks right before they do it. Is it going to motivate you to get out and throw a basketball around after dyeing your hair so much that the homeless guy rejects your money and help out of pure visual disgust? Yes. Is your fat ass going to continue playing for a long time after that initial surge of energy? Fuck no. But you know what watching this show will definitely do? make you clap like a fucktard every time flashes of light occur, and what you thought was definitely going to happen, happens right in front of you. Let's just face it, you, me, and the rest of the people that like this will turn into apes at the screen, just like the cinema did at Captain America and Thanos. You know exactly what I'm talking about. This show is fucking hype. It's silly, it's adventurous, it's insane, it's weird, it's predictable in weird ways and weird in unpredictable ways. It is a custom for every anime watcher to grace the presence of this show. It keeps you craving for the next episode and the next and the next. It is Kuroko's Basketball.